Township Board of Trustees meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Board comment. Any board comment? Good. No? All right. Approval of the agenda. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the agenda?
Yes.
Any additions or corrections?
No.
No? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion. Support.
All right, we have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public comment. Everybody is welcome to speak. Please limit your time to 2 minutes and one person at a time.
We are gonna allow here where Dale Wiltsey wants to talk about
Right.
stuff for that, so he can do that after everybody.
Understand.
Got it. Thank you.
Already Gates, 1966, South Swenson. I'd like to compliment him. She's not here, our treasurer, but she did what I asked, and I appreciate it. And it looks great on her report that she gave me the notation for what was in the general fund.
Good
That's
deal.
a great job.
Okay.
So if you pass it on to her,
I
Tom.
sure will.
We
I'll
will.
put it right in the minutes.
Thank you.
Great job.
Dale.
My name is Dale Wiltsey, City Manager, City of Augres. The reason I came and I talked to the board about
Everybody has that in their packet.
is the City of Augres is going to be expanding their campground. And
Pointed out.
with expanding the campground, the current ball fields that have been there for 60 years are going away. The city years ago designated the property next to the soccer fields near the water tower. I love a small community because this is how you talk about stuff. You know, next to the water tower as future baseball fields. What I came tonight is those fields are not just utilized by kids from the city of Augres, but also the surrounding townships, Sims Township, Augres Township, Turner Township, Whitney Township. I think most of this board knows that when I talk about a community, I talk about the township. And what I'm asking is if Augres Township would be a co-application, a grant application for the 2% thing. We'd like to have the 5 municipalities, City of Augres, Augres Township, Sims, Whitney, Turner, to co-apply rather than just support it. Any of us that have been to the 2% meetings know that the tribe does like youth projects. What I want to do is I'll write the grant, list the townships as co-applicants. I think Mike was done this before, maybe Jim, we just got to click on it, we're co-applying with the municipality. We're going to ask for $100,000. The city of Augres, years ago when they started this project, we have been putting away money, so we'll match up to $100,000. We're not asking anything from the township other than help us with the grant. A youth sports group is being put together right now that they're gonna design, which they've been working on, build and maintain the property. The soccer fields, like I said, are currently utilized by kids from all over the area. We designated roughly 6 acres on the property, so we're going to let them use. I don't want to say give because you say give and years ago, but they're going to utilize 6 acres of the property, and we're going to give them up to $100,000. So we think this is a good plan for everybody. Years ago, previous city managers tried to have kids that weren't involved in the city pay to play and do all that stuff. It's expensive now for, we'd rather see the kids out there playing than having to pay to play. So we feel if we can get this all together, it'll help all of our communities together. So, again, what I'm asking for is, if you guys will, join us on the 2% application, and just to bring you up to speed where we're at, well, I have a representative up to, Whitney tonight, because we have this meetings at the same time. Preliminary talk with Whitney, they're pretty good. Sims Township, they gave us a verbal agreement. They're gonna have it at their meeting next. Of course, City of Augres going in. Turner Township, they were on the fence. So, any questions?
You
Yes.
said the ball fields are going away, what, they're not, is the park taking over that
We're
property?
gonna put 28 campsites
Okay,
in.
that's what I thought I heard.
And the 28 campsites, you know, they're not for the city to make profit, they're to bring basically 28 more families into the city. They're gonna be seasonal campsites, you know, to help us with our stores, our businesses, our community in a whole. And I think everybody here has neighbors or knows somebody that has camped at this campground, whether it's there or the Point Au Gres campground or the county campground, that's end up becoming a resident. So it all helps our community.
Thank you.
I think it's a good idea, Dale.
So,
Yeah.
Can I get a motion?
It's not the first time we've done joint projects before. South Street got paved by both of us getting together when, Killenbeck was still the manager. And, that road's still in good shape. Used to just be a pothole.
and the tribe does know we work together.
And the tribe does enjoy, I mean, the tribe looks very favorably on combined township projects, so.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, appreciate you.
I'll make a motion to support the, co-sponsor
Yeah.
of the ball field project. Is that what you call it, Dale? Ball field project?
Yeah, we're just,
Something like that.
no, we're good. You know, Mike, just because it is, I would say the youth sports complex project.
Say that again?
Youth sports.
Youth sports, oh, that's.
Could we have soccer included there?
Sure,
Yeah.
youth sports complex, okay.
What are they gonna do, Dale, to the ground? Are they actually gonna make a realistic surface, or are they gonna pull everything up and put new stuff down, or what
Even as far as the field itself?
the fields itself?
We've met with an engineer and then Troy Williamson from Ballistic, in fact, just today, and they feel the grass is good. It's just a matter of filling in the ruts and the holes. They will be raising it, but as far as the infield, that'll all be taken up. New sod will be, or new dirt will be put down this year, and they wanna pack it this year, and then put diamond dust on the infield at next spring before the season starts.
Okay, cause there's ankle twisters out there.
Well, that's right, yeah, there's ruts, they gotta fill those ruts in and stuff, yeah, there's some bad spots, and also, they're gonna run drainage. We got fortunate with that, 'cause we thought we were gonna have to run it through the soccer field, through the big
Underground?
ditch. Yep, drainage, and, but the field, east of it, west of it, is tiled already, so we can run drainage into that, so that should help alleviate that problem. And it should give us more parking for soccer fields, I don't know if anybody's ran into town from here, when they have a soccer tournament, and Court Street is just totally lined, so there'll be more parking out there too.
And the church.
Are the ball fields already, taken out of the park, or are they still in use now?
They're there, but we're hoping to start the campground project right after Halloween in the park, which is October 20th.
Okay.
Be ready for next season.
Okay, so I have a motion to co-sponsor the youth sports complex project on 6 acres near the water tower, city property.
I support.
We have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Thank you, Dale.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you guys. I'll be in touch with Mike, is that who you want me to?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
'cause the end of this month is when of course, the private grants are at the end.
Yeah.
Something for everyone to think about what we want to do.
Well, we can't ask for anything else, can we?
Sure you can.
Oh, can we?
You can ask as much as you want.
Oh,
But what they fulfill is, of course, their decision.
okay,
Yeah.
so then we could go for
This
something
doesn't-
that we wanted to do
Right.
on our own. Okay.
Yes.
Yep,
true.
Last year, or last spring, we applied for the benches, and
Mhm.
they approved, what, 10,000 for that, and our
Yeah,
1,000.
that was one project.
Right.
You guys had
Did
some,
we have two on that?
cemetery stuff.
Yeah,
too
we did,
last year?
Pardon me?
Cemetery stuff too last year.
Right,
Yeah,
That was the benches.
that's a
Oh, that's the
bench,
benches?
yeah, we're gonna put 4 benches in there. Yeah, Mr. Olson,
all together brainstorming for project ideas. There's a bike path idea that was thrown out a little while ago, and there's a playground idea that was thrown out a little while ago. That might be worth considering. You guys.
I haven't forgotten that.
Nope.
No, haven't forgotten that.
We have a motion to support.
All right, we have a motion, we have support.
Thanks, Jim.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Thank you, board. All right, anybody else?
Yes, Jim, I went out to the cemetery today, and the first time all summer, it looks great.
Well, thank you.
It really does look good.
I was out there Friday, just trying to get a feel of where the board might wanna place those benches, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you guys decide on where you wanna put them yet?
I'll discuss that when it's my
Oh.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, my name is Eric, you guys know me, I'm the guy that has to deal with the township not enforcing their zoning ordinance. But today I'm not gonna talk about that. First, I was wondering if Dale Wiltsey has been informed at all about the bike path thing? Cause I think you said it was on a radar, Jim?
We haven't forgotten it, right?
Yeah, you haven't forgotten it, but last time we asked where we are with the bike path, and you're like, we said we're at nowhere, because that's a project, so since Dale's here, I think we should maybe talk about it today, that'd be cool. But what I really wanted to talk about was, at the last meeting, Loretta Gates had asked a question to the township, wondering how, if the wastewater discharge going on at Pure Green up at Gres Cannabis Company, if that was happening there, how do we know it's not happening anywhere else? The topic was really quickly switched to the wastewater is being pumped out into a truck, and the truck is taking it away. But the fact of the matter is, we don't know if the wastewater at the other facilities is contaminating septic tanks or not. I have 40 pages of documents from Eagle, Michigan Eagle, formerly known as the DEQ. The Glorious Cannabis Company is in violation of not only the water surface discharge, also the Clean Air Act. They have installed generators, 1 megawatt generators, without any permits and without any type of emissions testing, which is you need to have by federal law. So this company has been violating the laws. I have emails here with Eagle here. They were doing it for over 2 years. They were discharging into the septic sewer, overflowing into the adjacent swampland. For 2 years, this was unregulated. The person in charge of inspecting these facilities is the clerk that's sitting in front of you. I want to ask the clerk how often he does go to these facilities and inspects them, because I bet it's less than never. Less than never. So that's the answer that you were seeking, Loretta, but the subject was really changed. Here I have 40 pages of documents. If anyone wants to look at these, you feel free to. They're right here. And they're saying that Glorious Cannabis is doing a really good job now, but yeah, because they're in deep doo-doo with the state of Michigan and the EPA. They have no other choice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yes, what is this about? I'm just looking at it, about West Nile virus?
The right in the back of your thing, it explains what it is.
So that
You
we
read
have
what
been
it says there?
tested positive for West Nile virus.
That's what the thing said. The email came across today. I was going to bring it up as a comment towards the end. You see right there, yesterday I was informed, that's from the APM, from Ben, the guy that's the head of our program. Informed that 2 mosquito pools collected from the CDC in traps in Augres Township tested positive for West Nile virus in our lab in Flint.
Mhm.
So what more is it that you want to know?
What are we going to do about it? Is there anything
Well,
that
it's
you
like
guys
any-
do
it's
about
like-
it? Are you
It's like any
making-
mosquito virus or any kind of insect thing that you protect yourself. You know the advisory, they have it on the,
Are you putting this out publicly, or are you
It's
just?
out,
doing
it's
it
already out into the, it's already out onto the bulletin board out there, and I can post it on the website. I just got it this afternoon, so.
Anybody else? Thank you, let's move on. Approval of the minutes of the August 13th, 2024 Board of Trustees meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes? Do I have a motion
I'll
to?
make a motion that we accept the minutes.
All right. Do I have support?
Support.
We have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Let's pay some bills,
Oh, that's,
a bunch of them. Again,
Maybe more next month.
stop it.
Well, actually, November. November. If nobody has any questions, I'll make a motion to approve the book of bills.
all right, we have a motion, do we have support?
I'll support it.
We have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion on paying the bills? All in favor say aye. Aye. Treasurer's report.
Okay, if you look at the treasury report this month, you'll see a little red G next to it, as she spoke about. That's for the general fund. All of the letter here is included in the general fund. This general fund, obviously, most of you know, is unrestricted use for administrative and operations. So you can see that the checking is $221,924, the money markets are $154,268, and the CDs are $474,50 for a total of $846,642.98. And this is really what we have to work with on our administrative costs and our operational costs. The other funds are called special revenue funds, and it's restricted to a specific use, and you can usually tell by the name of the fund what it is. And you can see the road fund, 153,478, ditching 5810, trash fund 81,698, mosquito 9272, but there's also the mosquito CD in it. So that's the 927204 plus the 80,343.81. So there's actually like almost $90,000 to work with there. The gypsy moth CD is pretty much all of the gypsy moths. So funds that we had, we don't have any more gypsy moth to deal with. So we keep it in a fund for when they come back, which they very likely will. And then the commercial marijuana, this is restricted to specific use, but it's actually delineated by the state, and we have to follow their rules, and sometimes the rules are not that great, not written out well. But there is $217,021 in it. The enterprise fund is the water fund. That's a fee charged for a service. You get it in that pays for that particular service. In the current tax collection fund, it's in and out. So you kind of ignore that as far as money, because we don't have that money to spend. It just comes in and then we pay it out to the people that are involved. And that stands right now at $54,569.66, but in reality, I just made 2 checks out, so it's about $7,150. And also, all those come to $1,617,491.87. That includes accrued interest of $20,145.95. My accrued interest on the CDs and things like that are just a multiplication of the percentages that you see against the beginning balances on those CDs and money markets and that sort of thing. And so that came to $20,145.95. If you subtract that, the actual money that's in the bank is $1,597,345.92. And that's it.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to approve the report as presented.
Support.
All right, we have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Board reports. All right. Gres, Whitney Fire Board. The meeting was held August 15th at the Gres Fire Hall. Meeting we called to order by Olin Schwartz. Tom gave the treasurer's report, and he reviewed the, usual monthly bills. He talked about budget changes that had to be made because of the cost of replacing the fire hall roof. A motion was made during the meeting to, make the final payment on that 110-foot
Oh, wow.
ladder truck, so that is now paid in full. So, and to save the fire board some interest money for a few months, that helped. Kurt Humrichhouse wasn't able to attend the meeting, but he did call in his report. He reported that the firefighters responded to a boat fire at the DNR boat launch. They assisted with a car fire, and they did some training, over at the casino, so. The fire department also has received a new trailer for the Gator, and the old one will be put up for sale. The next meeting will be, at the Augres Fire Hall on September 19th at 7 o'clock, and everybody's invited, so. Thank you.
September 19th,
That's a week from Thursday,
gotcha. Mhm. And that was where?
Augres Fire Hall.
Okay, thank you. That was very nice, it's good right there.
Heritage Road
Here to draw what?
Authority.
Oh. I attended the meeting, was last Tuesday after, day after Labor Day. The minutes are included in your packet if you'd like to look them over. We're planning for Depot Days right now, it'll be October 6th and 7th. They're going to have on Saturday, like a horse-drawn wagon. I don't think there's any hay on it, but, horse-drawn wagon. They'll have a food truck, some amusement rides, and auction for, donations that some of the community businesses will, donate, and that money will go to the depot. The courthouse had a bake sale only Labor Day weekend, and, the total was $680, so that's quite a bit for goodies. So we appreciate anyone that came by and spent their money
And those that bake them.
and what?
And those that bake them.
Yes, and those that made them, yes. That's it. All I got.
Thank you. Zoning administrator.
I had a new project going up on Green Drive. There's a woman there had a house built, local contractor, and she decided to have a garage built. We spent about an hour and a half moving the garage around to get it on the lot. Because where they wanted to build it would have been about 8 feet off the neighbor's line. So we did some measuring and moved it up, and we've got it well situated, about 11 and a half feet off the property line. She can't make a mind she wants to be a full-time resident or not, but she's leaning in that direction. And very nice family. I met the grown son, and they, like I say, we're going to see what happens there. Over on Santiago, Atwater's project's coming along real good, and he has started cleaning up his second lot next door. I don't know what he's going to do with the pond. I know he paid part of the penalty on that from when he bought the property. But it's coming along real good. There's a barn going up on Point Augres Road. I see the floor is poured and a row of blocks, and I see some lumber there today, so that project's going to. I think Mr. Wilson building that himself. He and I were together about 30 years at General Motors. He was a millwright, so I think that's a job for himself. As far as blight, I was telling Jim, I noticed a house over on Point Augres Road that seems like every time you go by, he's got more collection. And now it's unbelievable. I suggested we get a letter to him, and I think that's going to happen. And the same thing over here on Swenson, probably do. Other than that, I've had a couple of phone calls. People in Florida want to know about a lot. People from Marshall, Michigan want to know about a lot that's going up for sale. I've heard no more. I just told them where they were and what to expect, and I haven't heard back from them. And, getting back to the garage over there, he gave me a complete site plan. All his permits are ready to go. He has the soil erosion permits, he has everything. So we're gonna knuckle down on that, and that's what we're demanding before we issue a building permit. That's the zone, land use permit. And, he wanted to stay with the group down in Pinconning and not the group in Standish for his permits. So that's about all I have right now.
Okay, thank you, Art.
Thanks, sir.
Cemetery report.
Okay. Last month, I mentioned that we had ordered some benches. Well, in the month that we were, Michael got an email, and the benches that we had picked out, they no longer made. This is after 3 weeks of trying to deal with them. They let us know the benches weren't made.
And they got paid.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And so we had to stop payment on the check and everything. So this is what we have gone with. These have been ordered, and we voted to pay our bills tonight. So the check is already cut for this, but will be mailed tomorrow. And what we're going with is 4 of these, and then we have trash cans that'll be close to them. And what I would like to do, Joy, I know you're interested, Rita, you're interested, and anybody else that would want to put their input, I'd like us to get together and look around the cemetery and decide, and somebody from the city too, if you would like to send somebody. I'll get with Barb Manor and set up a time, and if you'll give me your phone numbers before you leave tonight, I'll give you a call and let you know what we've set up, okay? And we'll go out there and decide what we want, where we want to put them. And Ed is going to put a cement slab down, and they will be bolted right down into the cement slab. So, happy. And we did ask the tribe for these, and they're the ones that gave us the money for them. So,
Very good, Penny.
okay.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Penny, I
thank you.
appreciate that.
All right. Old business.
One thing on there was the street lights. I took it off, and as I rounded the corner, I didn't have time to stop and talk to Marilyn, but I'm going to. So.
Oh, okay. That's the only hold up.
Hold up is with the right of way on Marilyn Bedore's property, and we tried to, Jim and I went over, tried to talk to her, and she wasn't home, and every time I go into town, I'm on a schedule or something, so I keep forgetting to stop and ask her.
All right. Any other old business? No? New business? Dale, once again, I want to thank you. We'll move on. Township L4209 approval.
Okay, that's in your packet, and it's in the additional one.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
rather than the agenda that everybody else.
All right, thank you. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Okay, so when it came in from Mike Henninger, where it had been supplied to him, and Mike needs it in order to be able to generate taxes for the winter, it had the wrong millage request. And it is, and I had that, I thought I had it, I thought it echoed wrong in my head there. It is 4209 and 4029. Don't mix them up. And I did, so on the agenda, I have it as 4209, it's an I have 4209, it's L4029.
Yeah.
And it is called the tax rate request for 2024. And on the document that we received, which I'm not sure that was done by Barbara, before she exited, by our assessor Barbara, or whether by the new assessor, I wasn't really sure with that, but when it came in, it had the road millage wrong, Yeah, yeah, that's because this came from
Yeah.
Cliff, but the first one may have come from Barbara.
You're right.
And we found them, I noticed a mistake, it had the road millage at 2 mils instead of 2.5, and it had the mosquito millage at 1 mil, 1.5 mils instead of 1. So I corrected those, sent it back to Mike, he sent it back to me because I should have sent it corrected to Kelly Reifenbach, our current assessor, who then took it and sent it back to me today, so.
Okay.
What we need is signatures, a motion to approve and signatures.
So now it's corrected?
Now it's correct, we have an operating millage, and one of the reasons that we do this, that we have them every 2 years when we have these millages renewed, is because of the Headley Amendment, the amount that you actually get compared to the amount you're requesting goes down every year. So every other year, every election, I usually go ahead and put it on the ballot for these to be renewed. That gives us a chance to go up and down instead of being locked in. Not that what's being shown on the sheet here is not required to be charged. You can choose, it's the most you could levy, but you could levy more, less. Okay, and that's just something that some people don't know, I guess. And so we have operating millages at 1, but the actual allowance for what can be put on the tax roll is 0.9287, so less than the 1.0 mil. The roads though, and the mosquito and the ditching all have been renewed. They all got voted in at the August election. So they're going to be shown, the road millage is standing at 2.5 mils, the mosquito millage is at 1, and the ditching millage is at 1. So that is correct. All we need really is a motion and you and I to sign them.
Yep.
And we send it back into equalizations, and it's good to go for the generation of the winter tax.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all right, we have a motion.
Support.
We have a motion, we have support to accept the L4029 report as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Thanks, folks. I'll take care of that tomorrow.
All right, I'll sign it with you. All right, Assessor Kelly Riefenbach.
Okay, now the next item there is on, you flip past the L4209, 4029. And then you see this is a request, it's from the assessor that has been done, and you see it's highlighted in yellow, okay? At the bottom of the page, it's is a letter that was written to, it's an email that was sent to Kelly to get this corrected. And basically what it is that there was it wasn't exactly a clear-cut thing, but let's say it was 40 acres separate, divided into 220 acres. Well, when the property was, when property gets divided, the new parcels get new numbers. Generally, they're like a -10, a -15, and so that you can allow it to have splits after that and still maintain some sort of order. But and then after the divisions get made, the original property, in this case shown there in yellow as 00323 200 00500, gets retired. That property number gets retired. But when it did, when the division was made and the new properties took on the names and the new owners, they forgot to delete the here it says this 154 omitted property to the state. It's actually a tax that's on the original property, and it's still there. It's still on the tax rolls and needs to be removed by a board motion. So if you're looking at the picture following, the next page, you can see where it is. So you got, I mean, here you're seeing at the bottom, you're seeing Jogway Road, and you're seeing Nearman Road, and I've got it colored in blue, outlined in blue. You see now that was split into two, what wasn't, like I said, it was not direct split. It was split into two different parcels. We approved it, and this is where Brian Goodson has his new house. Okay, so off of Nearman Road. And it was Ballistic Trucking property. They own part of it, and Brian Goodson and his wife own the other part. And so it's the whole property that is still on the tax rolls that needs to be removed, so. Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, so the parcel number that ended in 00
Mhm.
it has been omitted and was replaced by these two new parcels.
Yes.
But they never really omitted the original one, is that correct?
No, they retired it, but they didn't completely take out the taxes that were being generated, so Pat Trumbo, treasurer, gets a, tax bill for a non-existent property.
Okay,
Okay,
I understand.
so that's basically what we're doing, so, any questions on it? It's something that's pretty clear as whatever, so I'm gonna make a motion to remove any tax roll involving, any taxes involving this parcel, which is 003, 023, 200, 005, 00, due to retired parcel. That sound good enough?
That sounds good enough.
Do you,
Go ahead.
do you want to say replaced by and then the two new parcel
I
numbers?
can do that, yes, yeah, I'll
Doesn't
put
that
that
make
in
it,
there,
doesn't
sure.
that make it more clear?
Yep.
Does to me.
Okay, so the two new, and I think it's a dash, I think it's a -10 and a -15, but I'll have to, I'll alter the motion so that, it is accurate, so, raised by parcels. And then, okay, thanks, Jim.
Got it?
Got it?
All right,
I mean, I'll have to look them up, because I don't know exactly this one.
you made the motion.
I made the motion.
I support.
Okay, and support. We have a motion and we have support to remove to approve the request for removal of special assessment on the parcel aforementioned. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, board.
Terrific. Go on to the next one.
Yep. All right, fall cleanup, your township. Next Monday, a 30-yard dumpster will be delivered out here, for the benefit of Gres Township residents to dispose of any, items they don't want any longer. We had a call today from a resident with a 2-person hot tub. And
How to get rid of it.
and how to get rid of it. So,
Fine.
during the conversation, she said it worked, so I suggested she put it by the side of the road for a few days and put free on it. If it doesn't go by the weekend, bring it over here. I checked with, GFL, they don't have a problem with it going in the dumpsters, so. One way or another, it'll be gone, so. Anyhow, if we need more than one dumpster like we have in the past, we'll get them. So far, we filled, I think, 11 30-yard dumpsters with the Clean Up the Township campaign, so.
Over the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
2 years or 3 years?
3 years. So that's 11 dumpsters of trash that would otherwise probably be in the township somewhere, so. Oh,
Cheers.
public comment coming up.
Yeah,
No, not right now, Pam, public comment.
yeah, I wanted to say that, they will come out every third Monday of the month. They will come out and pick up big trash. And I called today because I emptied my garage and I had a lot of boxes and stuff. And they will pick all that up, and then I don't have to try to worry about how to get it over here.
Right.
So if you do have something big, like the hot water or the hot tub or hot water tanks or whatever, all you have to do is call them and put it out there, and and let them know that it's there for the third Monday of the month, and they will come right to the house and pick
And
it.
we have a calendar if anybody wants it, that can be sent out an email that shows what those dates are. You need to mention
Yeah.
the things that can't go in there.
Thank you, Pam. Things that cannot go in there, however, are tires, paint, air conditioners, anything with freon that cannot go in the landfill, so. And we appreciate everybody's cooperation. So far, we've been fortunate in that regard, that none of those items have been put in there, so. But anyhow,
Perfect.
yep, it's a good benefit for the township. Alright. Last day to pay summer taxes,
That's the 16th,
It is, I was just gonna say, that's a
not the
mistake
17th,
there.
the 16th.
The
16th
seventeenth
is
is when,
Monday, right?
when they will
Yeah.
start the 1%, yep. I put the flyer in the back, so the flyer is accurate, but yes, that is pretty incorrect. Thank you, Tom.
Monday the 16th,
Yep,
and they'll be here all day, right?
9 AM to 5 PM,
Yes. We'll be here all day.
and enjoying every minute.
Yes. Just like board of review.
Just like board review, yeah.
Alright, thank you, Tom. Alright, board comment. I appreciate everything you guys do, I really do. You guys put a lot of time in that people aren't aware of, and, even Saturdays and Sundays, for some of us, anyhow.
We do have a new internet.
Pardon me?
We do have a new
Nice thing,
internet
yeah.
provider.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
We put in Starline.
Did you talk about
Starlink.
the web page?
Yeah.
No, did you talk about
Yeah,
it?
we did on that step about a mirror sheet,
No, I said, did you talk about it?
last month.
Okay.
Yeah, it was up and doing that, I mean, we can chat it up anytime, so you go ahead.
it's,
So you
it's
did
very
get you
nice.
started, Mike talked about getting it, you
Yeah.
did get it,
Yeah,
and,
thanks to Tom, did most of the work.
And-
Ran it,
Works
ran it out.
It works great.
Very
It's, it's a lot of times, it's almost 200 megs. And,
Much better than
it's down,
Century.
up is like 1 gig. It's terrific. And compared to our CenturyLink one, yeah, it's amazing.
Jim, you wanna mention that it was cut down by the boardwalk?
Oh. We've had some comments from residents, in the township of why we didn't trim the, cattails along the boardwalk. I called, Dawn Hergott and, got her input because that is part of the Great Lakes. And she told me as long as we didn't disturb the roots of any of the plants, it was okay to, mow the cattails along the edge of the boardwalk. So, I asked for a couple of estimates, and we got one from Chuck Woods for $500. And, I went out there with him, and I told him, don't go any farther than your equipment allows, because it's pretty wet out towards the end of the boardwalk. So, they were out there today, and they were able to do both sides, so. It'll be very nice, yeah. One thing I also wanna mention, we had the parking lot graded again. And it only took about 2 or 3 days, and somebody was down there and tore it up, so.
Can't you put something in the parking and to keep people from carrying around, you know, like those stopper things? Not the cement things, those other things.
I don't know how we do it, it's the big open area that they,
Yeah,
do their donuts in, and, I think this is what, the 3rd or 4th time we've had it graded this year. Without fail, 2 or 3 days later, it's torn up, so.
My husband and I were actually talking about that last night, and he said it might be a good idea to pave it. So when you pave it, you're not gonna tear it up like you would gravel, you'd leave black marks, so it wouldn't be as big of an issue.
Right,
If they did go down there and do black marks, cause that's what teenagers are gonna do. More black marks, it makes it funner for them, I think. It did me.
anyhow, it's kind of frustrating and disappointing, actually, that somebody would do that, and over, but it's been happening.
Teenagers.
Any other board comment? Public comment?
Dale Wilsey, no address in my Albury Township, resident, it's not a resident, it's property owner, I live in Albury Township.
Sure.
Well, when you're talking about the, fall cleanup, I always wanna say, you guys do a great job with fall cleanup, tire recycling, all that stuff. I am on the board of the Aranac County MMP, which is new recycling board that we have. We've got a lot of good things in works. I heard you say tires and household waste are not allowed in your bin?
Refrigerators, air conditioners, things like that.
Yeah, okay, or electronics, right?
Pardon me?
Electronics.
Electronics,
Very good.
yeah, that's good.
There is one of the things that we're looking at doing with the MMP group is purchasing a trailer that is gonna work for electronics, and what we wanna do is set up with municipalities. Maybe you guys would have it here for the first 2 weeks, in May, and then again in September, or whatever works with your deal. That's something that's coming up that we've applied for a grant for, is that we drop the trailer off, you guys would supervise it, load it with electronics, we can take them away. But by saying that, I was gonna, if you don't mind, I'll reach out, we have electronics, recycling place out of
Pin County,
Saginaw.
Saginaw.
Chris Klopp, who is the representative, and they have put carts out or boxes out for these cleanup events. I can contact or give you his information, I mean,
Sure.
he's always looking for computers or electronics, but, I just wanna say it's always good. We've held a couple area
I mean, you're at the, you know,
recycling things at the fire hall, the augres Sims Whitney Fire Hall. But we're gonna have this trailer available hopefully next year.
yeah, we sent a letter, Jim sent a letter to Dawn in support,
of it, you
so
know,
that she had contacted us about it. I'm glad to hear you're on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good stuff
Thank you
coming
for
up.
that.
What about household batteries like AA and AAA?
The electronics guy will take those.
Who will that?
Good.
Household batteries and also rechargeable batteries for your power equipment and stuff, so. Yeah, we're really trying to come up with a good recycling program, hoping to have some good countywide recycling on board by next summer.
I hope so.
What about hazardous waste?
Hazard-
None of these, they're not taking paint or anything like that?
We've, in this area, we've held 2 hazardous waste events it was held at the fire hall in the city of Valparaiso.
Okay,
And that was an area that was for Northeast County, so.
something every year they do it?
We did it a couple times last year, yeah, and you know, and to put it out, I'll just take a kind of hit on that. I don't reach out to the townships enough to let them know when it's happening, what's happening.
Dawn keeps us posted.
Dawn does a good job.
She does.
He does, yeah.
So it would be good to bring
Yeah,
that up when
yeah,
that's
I agree.
available to the township.
Yeah.
Now that we have a website too, we can get it on
Yeah.
there.
And the other thing I was gonna say is, I don't know if this works, if you have a scrapper, but when we did our cleanup event, we put the scrapper's phone number right there and had a recyclable steel metal pile.
Oh, cool.
The pile wasn't that huge, but the scrapper did get a few calls of people wanting to pick up bed springs, hot water heaters,
Oh,
and things
neat.
like that, so.
Good
they
idea.
would get scrap, so that's something, just a suggestion, to put out a sign in for scrap pickup call.
Would that be for cars too?
He would pick up tires, anything metal that he can take to the junkyard, or.
Yeah, anytime we keep electronics out of the landfill, I'm for it.
Kind of like ditches.
You just did
Yeah.
you just did a support letter on the grant that was supposed to go out last week, that was extended, you just do one, another support
Yeah.
letter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, did you wanna ask about the big batteries you're asking me about, if those qualify?
Yeah, like, it's almost like a car battery, only it's a different type.
Car batteries are 13-15 cents a pound at Rifkin's.
I'm loaded. No, these aren't car batteries, though, they're to electronic equipment. And they're relatively large.
I'll send you Chris's contact number and give Chris a call, he's the big recycling guy around here.
He's from Aranac, yeah, I know Chris.
If he's the one that was at the fire hall, I have his business card.
Yeah, you got Chris's, yeah,
Yeah,
he talks more than I do.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, you went to,
anybody else?
I
Yes,
just wanna say, Dale, I appreciate you so much for doing those fields out there. That's gonna be nice for all the girls and boys that are playing softball and baseball. I appreciate everything that you've done for the city of Augres.
well, thank you,
Water parks, everything.
we're a community.
That city looks great.
Yeah, thank you.
alright.
Thank you.
Oh, and are we gonna be doing another tire drive this year, or are we done?
No.
for the
Now
year?
we're finished.
Okay.
We can keep you posted when, I don't know that Dawn's gonna have another one this year with the internet conservations, I don't think they are. I think we're done with everything, with the week till next year. They usually have one in the spring.
We appreciate everybody for coming. Hope everybody has a pleasant evening. Yes,
There's public comment over,
pardon me?
there's public comment over.
I just comment in.
You didn't ask if there's any more comments left. For last month, I remember you guys were talking about ditching on Jodway Road.
Yes,
And you guys, were asking about, you're replacing the culverts?
Yeah.
Replacing personal driveway culverts?
yes.
Is that not the responsibility of the property owner to replace their own culvert?
It is normally, being we're in a position to pay for it, I think it's, only fair that we use the taxpayer money. There would be 3 culverts involved. So, the
So you're
township
using
will pay
taxpayer-
for them.
Using taxpayer money to pay for people's personal culverts.
We
over
could
their
pay,
driveway.
we could use the marijuana excise money for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you can?
Is that what's
Certainly,
being
yeah,
done?
there's no restrictions on the
I'm just
excise
curious,
money.
I'm just curious of how that's being done, and if I need a culvert replaced, are you guys gonna replace it with, as well? Like, how is this, I mean, if it's just those 3 people, what about the rest of the
What
township?
has to do with the ditching?
We, it goes along with the ditching. If somebody needs a culvert and we're not doing the ditching, I think that's a different situation.
I think in the past, when they came in and they did Swenson Road and they paved it for the first time, they dug the ditches deeper and they replaced the culverts and we did not get charged for
Right.
it.
Same way when we did Santiago.
Yeah,
Normally they'll replace a culvert up to, I can't remember, 16 or,
These are
18 feet.
short, narrow.
and if you
one-
want more, you pay for the more, but I had one taken out that was 20-some feet and they would only replace it with, whatever, and I had to pay for the extra 8 or 10 feet.
Yeah. The same way with Santiago, they were all narrow driveways and, nothing, I think the longest might have been 12 feet. So, anyhow. Alright,
Anyways, yeah, I was not done quite yet, so, and then last month you said you were, meeting up with the Aranet County Building Department to talk about possibly switching to the building department instead of using the independent code enforcement, which doesn't follow the rules of the state for building buildings. That's how the A-frames were built illegally, because you had them built 5 months ahead of time without a septic permit. So I'm wondering where we at with, moving over to the actual Aranet County Building Department, who actually checks all the boxes before they sign off on letting buildings be built.
Art and I did go down, we met with them. I also surveyed several builders, and 75% of the builders prefer internet code because they get faster results. So, we're leaving it up to the builders.
Sure, so you think faster results are better than dotting your i's and crossing your t's? Because, I mean, we have a huge issue right here. Right now, you guys are telling me I have to sue you guys for you to enforce your zoning ordinance. These buildings that this man was built were built illegally, and every single document I have was done wrong. So,
When a contractor tells me he has to wait
hang on,
2
I'm
weeks
not
for
done
it,
speaking, please. I'm not
Well-
done speaking, please. So these permits that this guy was giving, were giving ahead of time without having the basic permits first, which would become a septic and sanitary permit, was one of the first things that you have to have before you get a building and a zoning permit. But he got that along because the code enforcement group they do it really quickly because they don't check these other things. So I'm petitioning the board to switch to the Aranet County Building Department because they actually do the checks and balances to make sure that the right things are filled out before they issue the permit. That's why we're in the mess that we're in, is because we're with code enforcement team, and this is how this got done. So will you please move to the Aranet County Building Department? They might take a little bit longer, but if you're trying to build a building, you should account for that ahead of time. It's not like you can get this done overnight, like, oh, it's not quick enough, we gotta go to somewhere else. It doesn't work for me, Jim. That's why we're in a huge mess.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
I think what you meant, it's not that they're quicker, they inspect 5 days a week, not once a week, which speeds up the process of builders being able to build.
They do once a week per
One
county.
at a time, thank you much.
Once a week per county.
They also, if the builder has an inspection on a Friday, and they have something they have to change on it, they have to, and it's a 2-minute fix, they have to wait till the following Friday to move forward with their building, that holds up building houses.
That's what we've been told. Art, you have?
Well, I was gonna say that with contractors, that's their complaint. They, Standish, they get inspections on Wednesdays, that's it. And he deals with several counties. I think one builder said that yes, he liked Standish, but the rest of them, they all wanna stay with,
That was out of 8 people.
Yeah,
yeah.
yes,
I was curious how the Shenfield Road paving project is coming along.
there is no paving project for Shenfield, for Shenfield Road? There is no paving project for Shenfield.
Between Noggle and US 23?
We're not gonna pave that, there's never was planned to pave it.
So what is it, you're going to at least improve it?
We're gonna bring it up to county standards,
Okay.
but there was never any discussion of paving it.
Okay. When is it going to be brought up to county standards?
Pardon me?
When is the road going to be brought up to
According
county
to the road
standards?
commission, they are doing a 36-inch culvert on State Road, and Shenfield is scheduled after they complete that project.
Alright.
It better be done this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also we have some ditch mowing that is scheduled, but their equipment is broken down and they're waiting for a hydraulic pump, I believe it is, so. Alright, thank you, everybody. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a motion?
I'll second.
Alright, we have a motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody can go home now and watch the ball game.
We've got the debate.
Any feedback on that?
Looking for feedback.
I'll let
other
you
than,
know.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll get feedback.
I got your number. I got trying to get everybody. So you wanna know what the second round? I'll tell you what, when you're young, you always sit down and shut up. When you go over, it's getting back up.
I can't bring you up to date with what it is, but sometimes
Yes.
and that's why that company is here. That's true. He and I are gonna have a little conversation. That's not gonna happen. In a year or so. I'm aware of that one also. That's on the south side. Okay, West Street is our
He was talking about Swenson Road. He mentioned some type of, I've got paperwork right there, but just want to put it in my bag before it's through.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
60,
Over here. You're not recording me in this room. This is a private meeting. Jim? Jim, he's recording me in this room. It's a private discussion going on between two citizens here.
It's no longer a public meeting there,
No
Sheriff.
longer a public meeting.
I'm pretty sure this is still public.
Whatever
This
you
is still
recorded, I want it
public.
deleted now.
You cannot eavesdrop on the private.
I'm not eavesdropping on anybody. I just walked.
If you're recording.
I'm not recording anybody. He walked away. I'm not following
I'm
him.
just telling you, if you're recording anybody
We're in a pub.
without their consent,
This is
it
a public
eavesdropping.
building.
It doesn't matter if it's a public building, you
Without
have
their
private
consent.
conversations in public buildings.
I'm not recording. I'm not recording anyone's. I'm not recording anyone's public.
That's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Because if you
Thanks.
use it, it's a crime. If you
Cool.
don't record, it's a crime, I'm just telling you.
This is-
Straight up.
Yeah, it's on right now. I'm not recording their conversations. Is what I'm saying.
And if there's something really big like mine.
Stop recording, there's people having private conversations. If you're eavesdropping, if you're recording,
You're
it's
saying
no
I-
longer a public meeting.
This isn't a public meeting.
It's not a public meeting. Meeting's adjourned. It's not a public meeting.
This isn't a public space.
Public space doesn't matter.
You can't record in a public space.
Not two people without their consent.
I'm not recording anybody's. I'm just recording standing here.
No.
I wanted to speak to him. I had a question for him.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I have a question for him. So what can I?
No.
You're telling me I can't ask a question.
You can ask any question.
So I can't stand. Can I stand right here?
All I'm telling you is if you capture a private conversation and you use it for your use,
Oh, I'm not doing that.
that's a crime.
Cool. Well, I'm not doing that. Thanks, Tim. You're doing a great job. Can you believe that? They can't record in a public thing?